Mauricio, how do you explain the first half, and how disappointing is it for you to see such a performance and result?
Yes, I think it's okay. Yes, you can hear. I think how we assess the first half and then the whole game. I think first of all, I think is of course it's our responsibility and my responsibility of the decision of the choice of the starting 11, because I think we wanted to give the possibility to the whole roster to have minutes and play for different circumstances, and I think that is the risk that we took, and I think that was is something can go in in a wrong direction, was in a wrong direction from the beginning. I think we never were on the game. Again, a very good team like Switzerland, with experienced player and a team that is playing really well. I think that was, my first thought, that not to blame, of course, the player, is to blame ourselves, because I think that was our decision. And I think in the combination of, the starting 11 of the team, I think wasn't, now, after 90 minutes, the best. That is about to learn and say, okay, move on. I think in the second half, in the halftime, we try to change the system and to provide more calmness and to the team, changing the system with 3 central back and do some changes. I think in second half, the positive thing that the team match to Switzerland in all the areas, and that is the positive thing that we need to take from today. We need to say, blame ourselves, the criticize for us, because I think that was my decision, and that decision didn't work. And when that doesn't work, you need to be criticized with yourself.
Ryan?
Thank you. Hi, Mauricio. Obviously, look, this game is over. A tough loss and not the result you wanted going into a Gold Cup. But again, there is a Gold Cup coming. Looking at the players, like you said, this is a young, inexperienced group, some of whom were, making their first or second appearances tonight. How do you kind of get them ready for the Gold Cup? Do you put your arm around them? Do you let them know their mistakes? How do you kind of get this team ready for what comes next, given what we just saw?
That is good assessment, because I think in the first half we play with many players that maybe some of them made the debut, young team. Again, I think that was full experience, like a player like Chaka or Akanji or Ndiaye or Mbolo, that they are competing in their best or in the higher level in Europe. I think it was an amazing experience in the first half. But the problem is that we suffer a lot, they suffer a lot, and we need to take off the pressure of them. I think we need to help. We are here to help, and like I said from the beginning, that was my decision and was my fault. The first half is all the critics should be or could be for me, because I think that was my decision. But at the same time, it was the good intention to provide all the players the possibility to play and try to compete for a place, in the World Cup. But at the same time, because we receive all the players in different level, and we thought that was important that all feel the games and have minutes, but didn't work. And when that doesn't work, we need to change. And in the halftime, we provide the team, a different way to play, different approach. I think in the second half, the positive is that we matched them, and I think it was an even game in the second half. But of course, the feeling from the first half was really, really bad, and that is why you keep this feeling. But now it's about to move on, because the important thing is the competition. These 2 games, we knew that we wanted to play with 2 important teams in Europe, like Turkey and Switzerland. When we decide to play with these this team is because we wanted to the player to feel the high level, and when you took the risks in this way, this type of this accident can happen. But now it's move on, like we were talking in the halftime. It's about to move on and try to play the second half and put all the feelings out. Tomorrow is about to rest and disconnect a little bit and be very positive for the World Cup and start in the best way.
Sanjay.
Mauricio, ¿qué piensas de los suplentes, especialmente John Tolkien como lateral izquierdo? Gracias.
¿Qué pienso de John Tolkien?
Y los suplentes, sí, subs.
¿Y los que entraron?
Sí.
Bueno, creo que tanto John se ha visto que todavía está falto de minutos, de entrenamientos. Creo que le ha venido bien jugar 45 minutos. Y los jugadores que entraron también en una situación difícil, con un 4-0 en la mitad, y creo que le han puesto, han provisto al equipo de lo que necesitaba, de calma, de juego, de personalidad, de carácter, y nunca es fácil salir en un partido así en mitad de una derrota como estábamos sufriendo. Me ha gustado la segunda parte, me ha gustado la personalidad del equipo y lo que han aportado todos los jugadores desde el banquillo, ¿no?
Megan, to your right.
Hi, Mauricio.
Hi.
So these have been interesting tests for the depth of this team, and I'm wondering if you can talk about whether there's anyone in tonight's starting lineup or in the substitutions that really proved they can hang with a team like Switzerland.
She's saying this has been 2 games of a test of our depth. Are there any players that have stood out to you from these 2 games?
More depth? What means?
A lot of players in the pool.
Some of them. Sí, algunos.
Sí, algunos aquí mejor or that they show you that they belong.
Well, I think first half was difficult to assess the player, because I think myself, my coaching staff, the staff, and the player that were on the bench and the player that were playing, I think the feeling, it's difficult to say, oh, one guy was positive or one was. I think when the performance was in the way that we played the first half, I think it's difficult to say, oh, now after 90 minutes to say, oh, yes, this guy is in, is out, or can have the possibility. I think we cannot make the mistake to assess the player on the first half, not to blame them, because I think was, with all the context and the circumstance, and of course my responsibility to build this team or this starting 11, how the combination didn't work, and that always is my responsibility, like a coach. It's not to blame the player. The player are good players with maybe not too much experience, but they need to build the confidence and experience. This type of pain situations, or the situation that you or we were living, I think can help us to improve. And of course, it's painful because you don't want to improve losing games or being in this way. But I think it's important for a young player that came from making the debut with the national team. That is another level. High competition, high level demands, a little bit more, but always seeing that is a great experience for these guys. Second half, I think with some more experienced player inside and maybe different combination, the team match the opponent. That is why it's not to blame the player. Players are going to have the possibility. For sure, we are going to do a good World Cup, good competition, and for sure we are going to be more. I think learning from that. I think that we are going to try to approach the game and to make a combination that work very well or better than today in the future.
Straight back there.
Coach, in your first 6 games in charge of the team, you guys scored 13 goals, but in the last 4 games, you guys have only scored 2 goals. what's happened that to cause goal scoring to become such a challenge?
Well, I think I don't like to now to put excuses, and always I said I am the guilty and I am the responsible. I am the people who want to criticize myself, no problem. We are here because I think it's a massive challenge to arrive to the World Cup in the best condition, and for all the circumstances that when we start in October, I think at the moment after October camp, that was 10 days or 7 days, in between 7 and 10 days we were working with the player. November, January camp with MLS players. March, only 6 days, playing 2 games, and now I think we are. The other day we were seeing around 60, 65 players. When you work in this way, trying to identify the best quality of a player or give the possibility to the player to come to the national team and try to build, your own way to play, your own team that being confidence playing in the way that you expect. With more than 60 players, it's difficult to have the continuity or the balance. And if you can see, we change a lot. The starting 11 or the roster. That is why I think that was important, but it was impossible for all the circumstances to have and work 1 month. But I think the circumstance and for us was to choose the best player to be here now and to work. And for sure, the question before was, for sure, after 1 month working together, for sure some player that maybe you don't think that maybe have the possibility to be in the roster in the World Cup could be. Maybe someone can surprise us. It's a good opportunity. But at the same time, you take a risk when you compete with this level of opponent, because it's not Akanji, Manchester City 1 year ago won the Champions League. Rodriguez, Chaka also, too many good players. And when you face this type of player and a team that is very solid like Turkey also, yes, it's a risk. It's a risk because you don't have the same experience in this international competition. But I think we are much better player, we are much better team, and we are much better coaches after a defeat like this, because I think you learn. If you are intelligent, you learn, and for sure for the future we are going to take different decisions that for sure are going to be more, related with the possibility to win.
Total of 20 different players started over the 2 matches against Turkey and Switzerland these last 2 games heading into the Gold Cup. Straight back to your right.
Marvin Walters, front-sided. Coach, despite missing several key players and going down 4-0 to the Swiss, the 4th straight defeat since 2007, how do you motivate the boys going into the Gold Cup?
The boys are very motivated to go to the World Cup. The circumstance, and yes, what happened? We can lose, but maybe we can win the World Cup, and maybe we can arrive to the World Cup and do well. I think that is a little bit some time to use in some way that maybe are not going to help the team, but I think the statistics are there, but the circumstances are more important. Yes, that is the present that we need to know that how the thing go, but in the same time the boys are so motivated to play the Gold Cup. Our feeling after Turkey was good. We changed. I think we made 9 changes from Turkey to today, and the combination didn't work. That's it. Mexico conceded 4 goals against Switzerland 3 days ago. We conceded with 9 changes with too many young players making experience. Second half we match, when we change a little bit. What happened? move on. Tomorrow we need to sink into what to prepare the World Cup, how we are preparing in the best way. It's not going to be a massive impact in our emotions or in our psychology way. I think we are going to be ready. No, I'm not worried about that.
Second row.
Hi, Mauricio. I know that you're trying new things and trying different players in these last 4 games, but the results just aren't there. Are you worried that maybe the fans and maybe the attendance just doesn't follow through in the Gold Cup and next year as well if the results don't
The
come?
attendance, the fans.
Yeah,
The fans are going to be with us. Before to start the competition, the National League, no, in Los Angeles. You remember, was empty, and before that, we didn't. Now we are talking after 4 defeats, but I think before to play Panama, we are right there in a very good condition, no, beating Jamaica twice and then beating Costa Rica and Venezuela in the January camp, and the stadium was empty. The fans are going to be there for sure in the Gold Cup and the World Cup. No worries. I have not worries about that. The fans are going to be with the team. On the end is the team, and then the problem is to translate the circumstance. Okay, be calm, because today we talk about that the opponent was better than us in the first half. That's it. We are not talking more than about that the opponent was better. And the second half we matched with some help from our decision. First half our decision was against the team, and the second half our decision was for the team, and we helped the team. And we need to take more positive or better decision in the future to help the team to perform better.
The coach of Switzerland is ready to join us, so thank you, Mauricio. Mixon will be open shortly.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.